I launched my home decor brand in just 90 days, while still figuring things out, still questioning my prices, and still wondering if people would even buy. But I did it anyway. Not only did I launch, I made multiple four figures in my first weekend. If you're trying to build something but feel like you have to be ready first, this video is for you. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I'm Brittany Christina, designer, entrepreneur, and founder of Brittany Christina Home, where your home is your personal art gallery. I help faith-led creatives just like you build purpose-driven brands. Now, let's go ahead and get into this video. So let's rewind a little bit. How did we even get here? Well, I left my job because I was burnt out and I was finally ready to bet on me. I wanted to transition out of fashion and beauty, but still stay in the design world and do something that was a little bit more in alignment of where I am now, which was home, peace, and purpose. And that is where the idea of Brittany Christina Home was born. When I say 90 days, y'all, that means I quite literally gave myself 3 months from concept to execution to build this brand and launch it. Here's what I did. Let's start with product development. I figured out the one product that would be easy to source, produce within a short period of time. And for me, that was throw pillows. After creating my mood board of what I wanted to look like, what I wanted my collection to look like, I sourced fabrics and samples from overseas. And I also explored making some of the pillows myself as well. This really worked out well because having a manufacturer allowed time for me to kind of free up space so that I can focus on the other areas for launch. Brand identity. Now this was huge. I wanted my brand to feel like an art gallery. Modern, artistic, soft, but elevated. So every pillow, every post, every email had to tell that story. Website and Shopify. So I built my site myself. After all, I've had a lot of practice because that is my profession. Every photo shoot, every description, all of the shipping policies, all me. Not perfect, but polished. And that was one of the things that I had to remember is that once I launch, that's not the end all be all. My brand will continue to evolve and grow over time. So I wanted to get it in a great first version, and then I can continue to push it further later. Lastly, marketing prep. I started sharing the behind the scenes journey of Brittany Christina Home on IG and YouTube. Building in the public eye helped me to build momentum and gain attraction for the pre-launch hype. I didn't wait to be perfect. I made decisions with the info and resources that I had, and I trusted God with the rest. So here's what worked. Launching my brand with a collection gave me a story to tell. It almost allowed me to romanticize my brand in a way that made it fun, and also engaging and enticing to my audience. Using email and YouTube to help warm my audiences was an amazing idea on my part, y'all. Before I launched, or 2 weeks before I launched, I actually started to put out teasers to kind of build that anticipation, and that helped to just create excitement around the brand. I also offered a free gift for my first 100 orders, and that helped to create urgency amongst my audience as well. Lastly, launching my brand around a holiday weekend, which I launched on Juneteenth. It was also my birthday weekend, so there was a lot of excitement, a lot to celebrate, and I ended up having an event as well, pretty much a launch party for my birthday. All of those things together, I think, really helped to build a lot of hype around the brand launch, get other people excited, and, just anchoring it against a holiday or just something that people can celebrate with you in person just made it that much better. So here's what didn't go as planned. The anxiety that I had around my prices, y'all, almost took me out. Almost took me out. The thought of, so yes, I wanted to build a luxury home decor line, and that's what I did. But I felt so uncomfortable with some of the prices that I was charging, and I had to get over that. I had to get over that. Gone are the days where I am making myself small for the benefit of other people. I am charging my worth. I have put in blood, sweat, and tears into this brand to give you an elevated experience. And so my prices reflect that, right? And so I had to get out of my head in the beginning because that almost took me out. All the work and the money that I've invested, my own money, everything is self-funded. I do not have investors, right? Everything is self-funded. Or, I did it myself. Like, my prices reflect that. And so I think in the beginning, I had to get over the anxiety around pricing and also just like imposter syndrome, feeling like, am I even able to do this? I think when you look at the competitors and where you want to be, don't build your brand based on where you are now. Build your brand based on where you want to be, where you see yourself, and act accordingly, because that is how people will perceive you. So that almost took me out, but it didn't. We're still in business. We're still here. And my first 100 customers can say otherwise. I will also say the tariffs and the delivery delays and all of the shenanigans around the trade war almost stressed me out. It almost stressed me out. I initially was supposed to launch my brand in April, did not end up launching until June, 2 months later, because there was delays. I was trying to wait out the trade war to try to figure out what was going on. Initially, it didn't affect me, but then once prices started skyrocketing, I very much, as a small business, felt the effects. And I was like, yeah, I'm not paying this high tax because y'all got ego problems. Like, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. So that was definitely a learning lesson, but I'm so grateful and I'm so glad that I had to experience that even before I launched my brand, because it taught me the importance of diversifying your manufacturers. I was working with manufacturers overseas. And so I ended up looking at more domestic manufacturers and just looking at different places to get different things. So I think that was important, but also it taught me the importance of pivoting and staying flexible. You never know what's going to happen. You know what I mean? And so as much as you want to plan and prepare ahead of time, the reality of it is you can't control everything. Not everything will be inside of your control, right? So the more flexible you can be, the more you can pivot, the better off you'll be in your business. Lastly, I will say, because there were pros and cons of launching during a holiday weekend. I think the pros, which I mentioned before, is just the overall excitement about it. Everyone is already on social media. Everyone's already, looking at different people's stories and stuff. People want to know what people are up to, what cookouts are y'all going to. So it was easy to try to slide into the noise or whatever and have people catch a glimpse of, I'm launching a business. So I think that was I already had that momentum. I didn't have to I was able to ride the wave versus having to figure out how to capture the momentum myself. I think the con to that is that I was just a little bit nervous about all the noise. I didn't know how it would be perceived, because I think during most holiday weekends, it could be very easy for a brand to get lost in translation. The other thing is, because not only was it Juneteenth, not only was it my birthday, it was my mother's birthday, it was Father's Day, it was my brother's birthday. There was a lot going on that weekend for me personally. And there were some things that I wanted to do that weekend. For example, like I wanted to launch on Juneteenth, going on IG Live and going on YouTube Live. That didn't happen. And y'all can refer back to my launch video that I posted where I literally documented the minutes leading up to me pushing the publish button on my website. And y'all, I looked crazy. I was so exhausted. I was so tired. And I think that's, you know, just some of the downsides of just being a solo entrepreneur and doing everything yourself. You have these grand plans, but sometimes they don't go the way that you planned it. But regardless, even though I wasn't able to execute everything the way that I wanted to do it, I could still put those marketing tactics in my back pocket for the next time. It's not like it's too late for me to do those things. I still had an amazing launch regardless. So that was just one thing that I was like, didn't go the way I wanted to go, but I still had an amazing time. So what were my launch results? Well, I'm glad you asked. Y'all, in my first weekend, emphasis on the weekend, okay? 2 days, weekend, I made a little over $3,000. And I made $5,000 within the first week, okay? I didn't run any ads. I just showed up, being my authentic self, sharing my journey, sharing my story, connecting with my audience, and trusting God, y'all. And that was it. That was it. I have to say that in my lifetime, with all of the businesses that I've had, I've launched 10 collections within my fashion brand. This launch for Brittany Christina Home by far was the best launch I've ever had in my life. Ever had. And this is me not knowing what I'm doing, y'all. I'm literally out here, quite literally walking in faith, trusting God, doing what feels right. You know what I mean? With no help, doing this solo. And this is by far the most successful launch of a collection in a weekend that I've ever had. I'm really taking all of the lessons learned from my past and I'm turning it around, using my wisdom for good, and then coming back and sharing with it, you all, you know? And for me, the win isn't even about money. It's not even about the money. To me, it's about the confidence for myself, right? Because this is proof and confirmation that I'm walking the right path and I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. But also, it's about the women, y'all. The amount of women who have DM'd me saying that they were inspired to finally start their journey or pick back up where they left off. Like after seeing me do it, they felt inspired to do it too. That, my friend, is purpose. And that reminded me of my why. Oh, I feel like I'm getting emotional. That reminded me of my why. And that is what is encouraging me to pick up this camera, sit in front of this camera, continue to share my journey with you all, because I truly believe that there is room at the top for all of us in a season where there are so many mass layoffs that are happening, so many mass layoffs, so many companies playing with people's livelihoods. It is time. I truly feel like God is rising up his entrepreneurs, and it's time for us to help each other. If I could do it within 3 months, you could do it, okay? If you have been sitting on your business idea, waiting until everything is figured out, don't. The reality of it is, you will never feel 100% ready. Start with where you are. Start with what you have and take your next faithful step and trust God with the rest. If you want more videos like this, make sure to like and subscribe, okay? Comment down below with any questions you may have and check my description for free resources. Also, shop Brittany Christina Home. I would love to help you style your space. I'll see you all in my next video. Bye.